Hey, welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most fundamental concepts in League of Legends, damage types. There's actually a lot more going on behind the scenes than most people know. Starting with this video, I want to explore some of the lesser-known mechanics of this wonderful game. Let's start off simple. We all know about the three main types of damage in League of Legends: physical, magical, and true damage. Each type interacts differently with the game's defensive stats and is key to proper itemization. But hey, I hear you asking, I thought this video was about the lesser-known stuff. Don't worry, we're getting there. Just making sure we cover all of the basics first. Each of the three damage types has additional subcategories, simply called tags. These tags help define how the game interprets and applies damage effects. The main tags include basic, spell, persistent, AOE, default, proc, pet, reactive, and raw. The basic damage tag is applied to most auto attacks and some special abilities, like Ezreal's Mystic Shot and Yasuo's Steel Tempest. They're all basic, just like you. All basic damage also contributes to effects of lifesteal. One thing to note is that lifesteal checks for basic damage, not physical. This means that hybrid champions like Yorn still benefit from lifesteal on every auto attack, and items like Wit's End and Blade of the Ruined King get added to the lifesteal calculation. Next up, we have spell damage. This tag applies to most champion abilities and can deal either physical or magical damage depending on the ability. Spell damage is affected by Omnivamp, which is essentially lifesteal for spells, allowing champions to heal from their abilities. Spell damage triggers almost every item and rune interaction. Persistent damage applies to damage over time effects, like Teemo's Toxic Shot and Malzahar's Malefic Visions. This tag ensures these effects deal continuous damage over a set duration and can also reapply item effects like Luden's Companion, Riley's Crystal Scepter, and Liandry's Torment. Also, most damage with the persistent type does not interrupt sleep effects. Thank me later Lilia and Zoe mains. AOE damage, or area of effect damage, applies to abilities that can hit multiple targets like Misfortune's Bullet Time or Brand's Pillar of Flame. AOE damage receives reduced healing from lifesteal and Omnivamp effects. Some pets, like Ivan's Daisy, also take reduced damage from AOE spells, and abilities like Jax's Counter-Strike provide damage reduction against them as well. Weirdly, some abilities, like Lucian's The Culling, are also classified as area of effect, despite only hitting one target at a time. Default damage is standard, unmodified damage that doesn't fall into any of these special categories. This tag appears mainly on splash effects from auto attacks, like Nocturne's Umbra Blades, Sevilla's Ricochet, and the splash effect from Tiamat. These attacks will not interact with things like stacking Conqueror or activating Arcane Comet, but will apply stacks of Black Cleaver. Proc damage refers to effects that are triggered from items, abilities, or runes. Items like Luden's Companion and runes like Electrocute deal proc damage. Many on-hit effects are also categorized as proc damage. Note that the proc damage itself does not interact with most other effects and will not trigger item passives, except for a select few. This is the reason you cannot trigger Electrocute with a single auto attack or spell. Pet damage refers to the auto attacks of champion summons, like Annie's Tibbers. Pet spells generally fall under the other damage tags. Pet damage itself doesn't trigger items and runes like Arcane Comet or Luden's Tempest, but they do apply effects like Riley's Crystal Scepter for slows. Where applicable, pets also applied Black Cleaver's Armor Shred on physical attacks and Molanomonocon's healing reduction on magical attacks. They also heal the caster when affected by Omnivamp. Reactive damage is exclusive to items like Bramble Vest and Thornmail. While reactive damage doesn't trigger spell effects, it is affected by Omnivamp. Reactive damage occurs even if the attack is fully absorbed by a shield or if the target is invulnerable. But if the attack is dodged, blocked, or if the attacker is blinded, then the reactive damage doesn't occur. Both Annie's Molten Shield and Rammus' Defensive Ball Curl are classified as AOE damage. Finally, raw damage is a rare tag that typically refers to abilities that ignore all defensive stats. Unlike true damage, raw damage also ignores shields. Spells that fall under this category are Pike's Death from Below and Urgot's Fear Beyond Death. In special cases, like with the Nexus Obelisk, it even bypasses resurrection and invulnerability effects. And there you have it, a deep dive into the hidden world of League of Legends damage types. Beyond the basics of physical, magical, and true damage, these lesser-known tags add layers of depth and strategy to the game. Knowing how each tag interacts with champions, items, and defensive stats can give you the edge in itemization, champion matchups, and counter picks. I hope you found this breakdown as fascinating as I did, and that you picked up something new to bring into your games. Thanks for sticking around till the end. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more League of Legends content. Make sure to leave a comment down below on which damage type or tag you didn't know about, or if there are other topics you want me to break down. See you next time, and please, stop running down my games.